Okay, so let's start. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Less number of people. I was expecting more audience, but I think we will have more people. So this is the second talk of the quality talk series, which we have planned with the Deanship of Quality. My name is Dr. Khawaja Bilal Mahmood. I'm the head of the quality, and today I'm going to discuss about the quality, the evaluations, and the accreditation, what we are doing at Faculty of Engineering for the 3 programs specifically related to ABET. All right, I will be discussing about ABET. Well, I can actually cover the NCAA part as well, because we are going for the NCAA accreditation as well for masters. But because the more emphasis and the more rigor is towards the ABET accreditation for now, because our deadline is approaching, so I will start with the ABET related discussion. Some of the things I have discussed in the past as well, so I will pass it very quickly. But what we will do is, I made the presentation in the way that we will take the comments and the questions towards the end. So if you have something coming to your mind and you want to suggest it, we will take it towards the end. Okay, very quickly, I want to introduce the CQI committee and the people who are involved in the day-to-day quality activities. I'm the head of the quality and I'm the chair of the CQI committee as well. And I'm representing the electrical engineering department for the ABET accreditation. I have, of course, this work, whatever we are doing, the previous ABET cycle and the upcoming ABET cycle, the re-accreditation. This work is not possible without the help of the overall member. I have 13 members in the CQI committee, and this work is not possible without them. Dr. Tayyab, Dr. Suhaib, without them it is not possible. We have new members as well. Dr. Fitriyan is covering the PG courses, all the postgrad courses for both programs, and Dr. Asim is covering, yes, and Dr. Asim is covering the civil engineer, chemical engineering and the ENGR courses. And of course, without their help, it is not possible to actually move forward. Prof. Wahid is also part of the CQI committee with us. Prof. Wahid is taking a huge responsibility related to the surveys, related to the criteria 7. I didn't put the pictures of 13 people, but I'm mentioning that I have, mashallah, Dr. Abdulaziz Quraishi, Dr. Rayan Sisi, everyone is with us in the CQI committee. All right, quickly, what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about quality and quality assurance in education, and then I will quickly discuss about outcome-based education. It seemed like that in the last talk, Dr. Asim have touched some nerves, and people were getting like really unhappy talking about the outcome-based education and comparison of that with the classical education system. But still, I will talk about it. I will talk about ABET and ABET accreditation. Then I will quickly discuss ABET and OBE. Then moving to assessment, evaluation, student outcomes, workflow, where we are, what we are doing in the faculty for the 3 programs, ABET accreditation process steps. What are we actually doing right now? Criteria. I will quickly discuss the 7 or 8 criteria, whatever we have for ABET, and the faculty role, challenges, and quickly the future trends. Actually, future is changing because of AI and everything. A lot of needs for and the requirements of ABET accreditation is changing actually. All right, very quickly. So talking about the quality. Quality is specifying the worthwhile learning goals for students and enabling them to achieve them. Now, how can we enable them to achieve them? Let's see. What quality involves is articulating or talking about or be vocal about the academic standard to meet the student objectives or aspirations, demands of the government or the professional institutions like IEEE, ASME, or the American Institute of Civil Engineers, for example, or some others, or Saudi Engineering Council, and the society's expectations. So quality is relatively easy to measure. In terms of excellence, we can compliance to the standards or fitness of purpose, we can actually measure the quality. But we are talking about journal quality. Now we are talking about the specific quality assurance in education. We are already doing this. So this is one of the picture we actually refers to that for the importance of quality assurance, that we ensure the consistency of the things we are doing in the programs. Then we enable credibility in terms of among stakeholders, that the things we are saying are the things we are doing in the program. Improved learning outcomes. Well, learning outcomes in terms of ABET, the student outcomes are taken directly from ABET, so we are not going to change them. But the course outcomes we can always change with respect to the needs. So for example, some newer courses are offered recently. In electrical engineering, we are offering artificial intelligence. That's a new course. Energy efficiency, that's a new course with respect to the requirement of the industry and the society at large. Then we have student support. Then we have continuous improvement. Continuous improvement means that we look at the outcomes of our procedures, what we are doing, and make the informed decisions which actually improve the quality of education in general. So this is the cycle we are going through. It aligns, we have to align the quality assurance with our curriculum, with the industry needs, and this is how we are achieving the QA in the process. This is another diagram I'm referring to because we are actually doing this in our programs. We do academic planning all the time. We assess the learning outcomes in terms of course outcomes and student outcomes. Then we do curriculum enhancement to some extent. We do this as well at the course level or the program level. And we do academic program review. Every term we do the program review to actually close the loop. And then we move to the academic accreditation. This is the place where we are now. In the 6-year cycles, we are now at the academic accreditation stage. Okay, so moving forward. What is outcome-based education? Outcome-based education is defined in many different ways, starting with what is important for the students so that they can be able to do that. Then organizing curriculum, instructions, assessments to make sure the learning ultimately happens. This is what outcome-based education is. The student, what this makes is outcome-based education actually put the student at the center of the education process. Prof, please have a seat.
Yeah,
please have a seat. So what we are doing is we are actually using the OBE model implementation at Faculty of Engineering. We are using the ABET approach, all right? And ABET, why we are using ABET? Let's actually talk about that. So ABET, why we are going for its accreditation? Well, we have the option of NCAA as well, but the first time we went for ABET accreditation, and NCAA and ABET, NCAA is by the way the local body of Saudi Arabia. NCAA and ABET both are the signatory of Washington Accord, which supports the outcome-based education. All right. Okay. ABET is an international body. ABET word is meaning by Accreditation Board of Engineering Technology. It's a non-profit organization which is essentially an accreditation body established in 1982, and it's based in USA. What we are related to ABET is there are many different commissions of ABET. We are related to EAC, which is Engineering and Accreditation Commission. All right. This information I took directly from the ABET website. This is the most recent information. They have 4,700 plus programs accredited all over the world, starting from North America all the way to Middle East to Far East. You can see all these dots are saying the accredited programs, and they are already in 42 countries. Why we are going for ABET? Because ABET have the member societies for electrical engineers. They are IEEE actually supports ABET. Chemical engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, industrial engineers, all the bodies actually support ABET and their standards. And whatever their standards are, if they are followed, that means the students have the necessary skills required for them to become the members. Okay, so ABET accreditation is recognized worldwide for quality assurance. That's one thing. It's also important for our student to have employability and global mobility. I had this experience in the past. Actually, someone contacted me, our previous graduate, probably the second batch or first batch graduate. He contacted me and he graduated just 2 months before we got the ABET accreditation. He contacted me from USA and he said that because I graduated before the ABET accreditation, I have to give an exam in USA to actually say that what I got is actually at the same standard. All right, so it happens. ABET ensure programs meet industry standards. ABET accredit programs only. That's a very important thing we need to understand. ABET, like any other accreditation body, do not accredit institutions or colleges. They only accredit programs. They also do not use the word department. They use programs. So electrical programs, civil program, mechanical programs are ABET accredited. All right, and we are going for re-accreditation. Okay, so ABET evaluate specific degree programs in applied sciences, computing, engineering technology to ensure that they meet the industry and the industry requirements and educational standards. We are using this on our website as well. This is how ABET actually send us the certificate each year to show that, and it's also on their website as well, that we are accredited. I put these things just to show you where we are actually in the accreditation cycle. So these three programs are accredited from October 2018 till September 2026. We are already accredited. We are due for re-accreditation. So what we are doing right now is re-accreditation, and we are due for re-accreditation in 25-26 cycle. So whatever we are doing is actually in this cycle. We have already submitted the request for evaluation to ABET, and it is their requirement that it has to be signed by the rector of the institution. All right, we have already submitted this with some transcripts as well of our graduates of the three programs. Now what we are doing is we are actually doing the self-study compilation and submission. This is due in June 2025, and their expected visit is in November to December 25, probably in November. But they ask for a time, so the time is between November to December 2025. Okay, ABET and OBE. So what we are doing in the Faculty of Engineering is using the ABET's model, which is called the outcome assessment model. And in this model, we actually establish the outcomes. We provide the learning opportunities by using different unique teaching strategies. There are so many teaching strategies now people are using. Then we assess the student learning by doing the assessment. There are two different types of assessment we are doing. We are doing the direct assessment, the indirect assessment, and we then make changes or inform decisions, CQI, on the basis of whatever we are getting from here. Of course, how we are doing it in the direct assessment, we are doing it by using our program educational objectives, which are defined for all three or all five programs actually. Then we have ABET student outcomes, which are mapped with the performance indicators to the course outcome. This is done every semester. Okay. Then outcome assessment model. By the way, just to quickly, there is a attendance sheet somewhere. Please pass it around. Yeah. So outcome assessment model is the ABET model. It requires a program to make informed decisions actually. So which is essentially CQI, using assessment data collected from the students and the program constituencies. We have different program constituencies. We have faculty, alumni, employers. We have external advisory committee for our PEO. They can actually give us the comments on the PEO as well. So it requires development of qualitative and quantitative measures to make sure that the students have whatever is needed or they satisfied the course outcomes, which are used to measure the student outcomes of ABET. And ABET student outcomes have certain specific skill set which we want our students to have by the time they graduate from the programs. Okay, quickly to talk about the assessments and evaluation. Well, there is a very fine line between them. Assessments is collecting data on the student learning. So all the activities we do in the semester, direct assessment from the student, homework, quizzes, midterms, finals, etc. This is assessment. Then evaluation make informed decision based on the collected data. We have two types of assessment in the Faculty of Engineering or in all the programs. We are doing direct and indirect assessment. And then there is further subcategory of the direct assessment called formative assessment, summative assessment, which will be covered later on by Dr. Suhaib in one of the talks. Okay, so direct assessment, we have all of these activities. Everyone knows that we are doing it. And even some people are doing some newer activities as well actually. There are flipped classroom activities, which is a new activity. Now people are doing project-based learning, design project, case studies, etc., etc. Indirect assessments, we are doing in terms of course exit surveys, graduating student senior exit surveys. We are doing alumni survey, employer survey. We have the people who are available, they are involved in them, and we are actually doing these type of surveys. External advisory committee survey is also needed towards the end when the meeting will happen. These are the student outcomes which I am talking about, and they are specified with respect to their specific skill set. So SO1 ABET student outcome is related to problem solving. 2 is for the design, 3 is for communication, 4 is for ethics and responsibility, 5 teamwork and leadership, 6 is for experimentation, and 7 is for lifelong learning. Okay, this slide is very important and I would like your attention because I spent actually some time on it. We are doing it every semester, but still it's very important to actually see. Whatever we are doing at the course level is actually course outcomes, all right? Whatever we are doing. Course outcomes are mapped with ABET student outcomes by using the performance indicators, all right? And we do CO, PI, SO mapping on the front sheet of all of our assessments. And this is the data, direct data, which is generated from the assessment. This cycle happens every semester in every course, in every assessment. Then on top of this, we have program educational objectives. Program educational objectives are mapped with ABET SOs and the results are actually checked at the end of the semester. So when we do end of term, we actually check that. And this essentially is mapped with the vision and mission of the faculty and the university essentially. So the vision and mission of the Faculty of Engineering is summarized in this picture, and the 4 PEOs, the program educational objectives, are summarized in this picture. They are actually assigned with ABET SOs by using this cycle. And this is the model we are using in Faculty of Engineering for ABET workflow. Okay. Another thing, we have 5 quality cycles. We are doing something that is called plan, do, check, and act, PDCA. You will be hearing this word a lot from now till the ABET accreditation will come. We will be running some workshops and you will be hearing this word a lot. So PDCA is plan, do, check, and act. What we are planning, doing, checking, or acting. We do development of educational plans. Then we implement the plan on the basis of that, and we check, monitoring, and conducting a failure analysis. This is our end of term, and we do it every term actually. Then we act, generate, and implement corrective action, and this is what the FCAR and all the actions we are doing. So we have 5 PDCA quality cycles at Faculty of Engineering. Previously, in the previous cycle, we used to have 6. Now we have 5 cycles. We have combined 1 cycle together. We have 5 cycles, and this graph actually defines those cycles. So we have quality cycle 1, where we do course improvement if it's required. In the previous accreditation, we used to have course improvement. Now the courses are settled, but still the course improvement cycle is available. Then we do monitoring of the courses, that's auditing. At our end, for the quality people, that's auditing. Then we do term review. Every term we have term review. So 3 quality cycle, QC 1, 2, and 3 happens each term. Then we have multi-term SO and PI review. All the 3 departments have just done this multi-term review. This happens every 3 years. All right. And then we have the PEO review cycle, which happens every 5 years. So right now, what we are waiting is the PEO review cycle. All the other cycles are happening or are actually done. So this happens every semester. This happens every 3 years, and the last one PEO cycle happens towards the 5 years.
What was the 6th one that you eliminated?
Yeah, 6th one we didn't eliminate it. We actually combined them together. Previously, what we used to have, SO and PIs were separate cycles. Now we have actually combined them together because the system is actually updated a little bit, and we have improved the system as per the comments given in our previous accreditation cycle by ABET. Their exit comments were important. We took them into consideration and we changed the cycles a little bit. Okay, quickly, where we are in the ABET accreditation process, we are here right now. We are at the data collection stage, preparing the SSR. Peer review and on-site visit is predicted in November, December. Then what happens after the visit? When the ABET team left in November, they have evaluation by ABET Commission, and they have visit observations. They take them into consideration, and after ABET visit, they do it, and on those observations, they make a final decision. But during the ABET visit, when they have the exit meeting, in that meeting, you can actually find out between the lines that what is the outcome of your accreditation. Last time we know that, Alhamdulillah, there is no major observation or concerns. So we will get, inshallah, the accreditation. But the final word comes when they give us the final decision through their official channels. Okay, coming directly to the SSR. I'm trying to not bore you and trying to talk about the stuff which is related to us. Why we are doing, how we are doing is there are in the ABET SSR there are 8 criteria, and the 9th one is called journal criteria. So the 8 criteria we have starts with the students, the program educational objective, the student outcomes, CQI or continuous improvement or quality, curriculum, faculty, facilities is labs and all the facilities we have in the Faculty of Engineering for the programs, institutional support, and the last one is called program criteria, which is specific to each program. So the requirement of program criteria is specific to electrical is different, civil is different, mechanical is different. All right, let's quickly talk about each criteria very quickly. So a student, the first criteria. The first criteria looks for the students what the programs are doing for the students. So it ensures that institutions or programs admits, support, monitor, and guide students effectively throughout their stay in the program. So they ask for the data related to admission and enrollment requirements. They ask for student advising. So a lot of things coming from Dr. Isam actually directly going into this. Student advising and support related to advising, mentoring, career guidance, support services. For example, if the student needs some extra support services, we can provide that. Monitoring a student performance. If they need extra support, extra help, then we can provide it. And we need to mention that how we can provide it. And then graduation and retention rate, that how many students we are getting and how many we have the retention rate in our program. Are they dropping out or they are staying in our programs, etc. That's all about criteria 1. And a lot of information is coming from the advising committee and the programs directly. Criteria 2 is related to the PEOs, program educational objectives. In this criteria, ABET is asking for the definition of the PEOs, how the PEOs are mapped with the vision and mission of the faculty and the university. They ask for the alignment and the alignment with the institution mission and the ABET criteria and needs of the program constituencies. Then PEO review is very important and they ask for it. So this is where our external advisory committee comes into play, where they actually review the program education objectives, and if there is a change needed, they can actually suggest the change there. Number 3 is talking about the student outcomes. So student outcomes are measured every semester by using the direct assessment as well as the indirect assessment. So this is how our student outcomes, the 7 ABET student outcomes, are mapped with our 4 program educational objectives. This is how they are mapped. And this is how, when the data of the student outcome comes from the direct assessment, we can actually map it directly with the program educational objectives. Faculty of Engineering, all the 5 programs have 4 program objectives. They are very similar to each other with their specific needs, but the requirements are very similar. Okay. Okay, moving forward. Criteria 4, this is related to me directly or the committee, CQI committee. This is related to actually all the PDCA cycles, what we are doing. So the course improvement, monitoring and term reviews, and then the multi-term review and the PEO. Whatever we are doing in PDCA cycles actually comes here. One additional thing which ABET is looking for is closing the loop. Last time when ABET was here, they actually gave us some comments about our system, and we tried to actually improve our system on the basis of their comments. All right. So we have made some changes in our quality system in general. The people who were present in the previous ABET cycle, and I will see some smiles if they remember what was in the previous system, we have actually come a long way, alhamdulillah, and changed a lot of things and improved a lot of things as per the requirement of ABET. So closing the loop means we need the on-time CQI, and we find the problems, what are the problems, and then we try to close them by using our CQI. Criteria 5 is curriculum. I think every one of you is involved in curriculum one way or the other, except the people who are in the industrial and the chemical engineering. Other than that, I think everyone have done some sort of transcript analysis or something. All right. So curriculum criteria is directly related to the alignment of the SOs and the PEOs and our program curriculum with the ABET requirement. ABET actually categorically ask for the prerequisite structure of the programs. Right now, how many of you that know that we have two curriculums running? Everyone knows that we have two curriculums. Okay, there is a difference between these two curriculums. There is one is called 38x, the other one is called 45x. I'm just asking general questions. So 38 means what? 38, the word, this number 38 comes from where? The Hijri year. This was accepted in 1438, and 45x actually got accepted in 1445. So right now, all the students we have graduated at the graduation level are 38x students. So all of this information is coming from the departments directly. We need to show that our programs are meeting these requirements. The maths, the basic science, and the engineering topics are covered, and alhamdulillah, they are covered. We have checked these requirements. The important thing, the new thing which ABET is asking this time is evidence of curriculum content related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is what we have to show this time to ABET, that our curriculums are actually covering these things as well. Criteria 6 is related to faculty. ABET wants to see that we have sufficient number of faculty members, so our student-teacher ratio is good. They want to see the competence of the faculty. Alhamdulillah, I can see huge competency in front of me, and people are not here, but I know that all the people who are here, they are covering different domains, different experience, different professional credentials. So this is very well covered, alhamdulillah, for us. ABET also want to see the faculty involvement in the course creation, modification, and evaluation. Criteria 7 is facilities. I have Prof. Wahid is here. I have Dr. Abdurrahman is here for library services. Criteria 7 is related to facilities. Facilities means that whatever we have in terms of classrooms, offices, labs, computer infrastructures, equipment in the lab, how we are maintaining them. Is there any upgradation policy available at the program level or the faculty level? Modern resources, do we have access to them? We have new computers available, i9 computers with very good specs. The last thing is related to library services. It's very important. ABET also checks that we have adequate library services, both in terms of the hard copies available in the physical library as well as the online book availability and access to our faculty. So this brings us to something. How many of you have been to library actually? Just a quick question. All right. Did anyone try to actually issue a book? Yeah. Try. Actually, library is next to the Salam Hall. My suggestion is just one time, please go and check, so that at least people would know that where the books are. I know students are going, but we should also go. They have upgraded the library, really good. Books wise, yes, they are trying to procure the books, but library is in the really good shape. All right. The last one, the last criteria is institutional support. ABET wants to see how much institutional support the programs have available from the institution. So adequate support and leadership, very important. Sufficient resources in terms of financial support, services, adequate institutional services, administration, and technical staff. And they actually ask for it. They ask for this data categorically, and we have to mention. Faculty hiring and retention, that's another thing they ask for. And alhamdulillah, I can see that faculty retention is very good with us. But they ask for it categorically in terms of number, how many faculty we have retention in the past few years, 5 to 6 years. Okay. Last criteria, program criteria. That's a specific criteria specific to programs. In these criteria, they usually check the curriculum. It's related to the curriculum. They usually check the curriculum, what specific requirement each curriculum have, each program have related to curriculum. And whether they are covering it or not. For example, in electrical engineering, they ask for this, discrete maths. Is this covered in electrical curriculum? So we have to specify the courses where we are covering the discrete curriculum. Last time I remember they make this point for civil, the biology point, right? So we have to actually, we did make some changes to satisfy this criteria. And now they have changed this criteria a little bit more as well. All right. This is very specific to programs, and they have separate instructions given for each program. So electrical have separate instruction, mechanical have separate, civil have separate, and they have to specify their instruction and their requirements separately. Okay, I'm coming to the end of the talk. So faculty role and best practices. Document the learning outcomes. We are already doing it by using the mapping. Align the teaching techniques with ABET criteria. Alhamdulillah, they are aligned, but still what you are doing, keep doing it, please. Participate in continuous improvement. Faculty is already involved in that. Keeping through record of student work. This is one point I would like to mention. Whenever the work related to quality comes, the only thing I have heard from the faculty members is scanning. Well, scanning in the overall quality, SSR preparation and accreditation is probably 1%. Probably. All right. Scanning or keeping the record of the student work is in the CQI criteria, and it's probably the 1% of the whole accreditation process. All right. That's a very small thing. But there are so many other things like facilities and institutional support and curriculum and all that. Your curriculum should be really good mapping, should have really good mapping with our program educational objective and student outcomes. So course level mapping and the program level mapping should be very good. And the program should engage the stakeholders, the student, faculty, industry, etc. Challenges, that there can be n number of challenges, but I'm just specifying some. Misalignment between PEOs and SOs. Alhamdulillah, we don't have this problem, but this problem can happen. Inconsistent documentation, curriculum mapping, or faculty's members' unfamiliarity with the assessment techniques. Right now, we don't have this problem, but it can happen, which can make problem or challenges in accreditation. Making accreditation adaptable while maintaining high standards is very important that we do this so that it can be adoptable easily. It's a natural thing. We are doing it. It's just that we do it with respect to the standards. Future trend in accreditation, there are so many future trends right now. ABET is also evolving with respect to these future trends, and probably the next cycles where we will see these things. So AI-driven assessment tools will be coming very soon, or they are already in the market. For example, AI-based learning management system. So for evaluating student outcomes and program effectiveness, digital learning analytics are already there. Data-driven decision-making to track the student performance, and the last thing, very important, sustainability and ethics focus. So accreditation, including sustainability and ethics practices, will be required too much actually from the accreditation bodies. Having said that, the last slide, what is the summary of the whole thing, what I've talked about, that it's important. We are actually trying to compile the self-study report on the basis of whatever data which is available from the faculty members and the committees and the chairs and the deans. Faculty members play a crucial role. Without faculty members, it's just not possible to do it. So thanks a lot for whatever you are doing. It's actually helping us. It's my father was 35 years in Merchant Navy, and there's a saying in Merchant Navy, it's a all hands on deck job. He was a radio officer in Merchant Navy, so it's Merchant Navy's, Navy's way of saying it's a all hands on job. Everyone's input is needed. All right. Without your help, accreditation is not possible. It's not my work. It's not the dean's or the chair's work. It's actually everyone's work. Thanks a lot for your patience and listening to this. With this, I'll stop.